I first saw her in Detroit. I was recording at Motown.
My brother, who was sort of looking after us at the time, found out this big famous producer was in town.
I noticed that in the back of the group was the bass player. Turned out to be Suzi.
And I jumped up front and did one song that I wrote and then jumped back. And he went, come here. Called me to the back of the hall and he said, would you like to make an album? And I said, yes.
Mickey Most drafted in Nicky Chin and Mike Chapman to write the songs that'd make the young boys squirm. But the young girl who would sing them was, despite a long-standing friendship with Alice Cooper, still in need of an image.
I was always a bit tomboyish, you know. And Mickey said, what do you want to wear? We have to do Top of the Pops. And I said, leather. And he said, no, it's been done. 50s. I said, it hasn't been done by me. And he kept saying no, and I kept saying yes, and he sort of knew he wasn't going to win on this one. For once, he wasn't going to win. I had no idea it was going to be sexy. That was not in my mind. That was a lucky mistake. I was used to being the only woman in the sort of rock scene since I was 14. I fit very comfortably with men. I can be one of the boys and still be a woman quite easily. It's something I've always done.
She had this tremendous drive and tremendous energy, and she would never give up. And if Mike and I were in the process of writing a song for her, she would drive us mad.
I looked out for her. She looked out for me. You know, I could call her in the middle of the night and say, "Have any beer?" And she would have it.
Before me, the motto was, as far as singers go, people in the business, if you like, was soft and feminine, flowing dresses, and they certainly had no place in rock and roll. That just was not heard of. And I always thought that somebody needed to kick down the proverbial door that was closed, and I did that, and I blew it open. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I nearly beat the shit out of Lindsay DePaul one time at the Top of the Pops. We're great friends now, but what happened was, she, and I have to believe her, she was misquoted in an interview, and she called me a nasty name, and I went furious. So I happened to see her the next week at Top of the Pops, and I got her by the scruff of the neck and held her up against this glass window and said, how dare you, her feet were dangling. You know, it was hilarious. And she apologized after that, but when I get mad, I get mad. So come alive, come alive, down in Devil May Drive. So come alive, down in Devil May, down in Devil May, down in Devil May Drive. Down in Devil May, down in Devil May, down in Devil May Drive. When we made our records, we went in there and we played them. And if they didn't sound good, you played them till they did. That's me. I like to do it proper. That was the last great era for that. And now it's not like that anymore. I think it's lost the human touch. Just started making a new album with Mickey. We haven't been in the studio for many years together, many, many years. And I wrote some new songs that he happens to very much believe in and I believe in. I saw a rainbow, beautiful rainbow. I do about 160, 170 gigs a year, which I've always done since 1964, except when I did Happy Days or my chat show or the theater things I've done or the acting. It's the only time I've had off. Other than that, I tour constantly.
Len Tuckey, Suzi's guitarist and husband, was a constant companion through the grueling early days, but the schedule took its toll.
Sometimes it was great because I had somebody with me on the road, but I don't think I'd do it again. I wouldn't want to be 24 hours with somebody again. I think that can be more of a strain at the end of the day. I mean, 10 years together would be somebody else's 40, you know.
Suzi Quatro and her monkfish au poivre.
Suzi's peppered her career with many such unlikely moves, but from the happy days of Leather Tuscadero to a recent stage revival of Annie Get Your Gun, she's never been able to shake off the bad girl image.
She was always sort of like my little sister, pretty good poker player. And, you know, she would be right there in a fight. I mean, if you needed Suzi, she'd be there to help you in a fight.
Oh, I've done my share of straying. I used to be prone to the odd room wreck because it's so damn much fun, you know. When you've really had enough at the end of the tour and the old, somebody just has to just accidentally go, oh, sorry, and then it starts. And it was always me, always, always me that started every room wreck. And at the end of it, it was always me that never got blamed because I just wouldn't do that.